welcome back to the stage, everybody, for the second semi-final of the Faceit season finale here at DreamHack Winter 2015. Firstly, a huge shout out to the crowd. You lot have been absolutely awesome. That last series was insane, so thank you to you guys, and a massive thank you to everybody tuning in on the stream. Now, what we are all about to witness together is going to be an epic Counter-Strike matchup that almost leans on being slightly emotional, and that is because, of course, it is the classic story of the overdog and the underdog. Please welcome to the stage, Luminosity Gaming and Team Solo Mid. Good to see you both. Now, Dupree, what are your initial thoughts going into this matchup?
Well, I'm looking very much forward to the game. I've said it before, but I have a huge amount of respect for Luminosity. They've come so far, both individualist and as a team together, so I'm huge respect for them, and I'm going to look forward to a great game. With
the two new players, FNX and Taco, is there a level of unpredictability to what they can do?
I mean, I think they've kind of gotten something new to the team. I think everyone is very motivated about the new team they've gotten. That's usually how it is when you change a player. Like, everyone wants to be performing at their best, and I think they've done that at least yesterday. So overall, I'm just curious to see how they play. I mean, they did play good with the last roster as well, but I think this new lineup can bring something new to the table that we haven't seen before.
Final thing to you, were you surprised with what happened yesterday with these guys, managing to take out two of the top teams in the world?
Well, obviously it was surprising, especially since they beat, I mean, the biggest upset was probably beating Envious since they're the major champion, but obviously also beating NIP here with all the crowd here, obviously. So already now, I'd say that Luminosity has done probably the biggest upset in a long time by beating those two teams, and I think they're very happy with being in top 4, but I think they want to go to the final, but so do we, so it's going to have a bloodbath.
Awesome. And how's that feel to hear that from the guys that you're about to play?
Yeah, being honest, it's an honor to be respected from those guys. TSM for me is one of the best teams in the world for a long time right now. And let's see what we can do today.
I mean, because you guys have had a very interesting run in this tournament, because it started off very poorly, but then you managed to just turn it around.
Yeah, the first match against Fnatic, we didn't have any time to put anything in the board. We just came and play, and we realized that we're not that good, and we needed some strategies. We need to work a little on what we want to do, because when you play these teams on this level, if you don't know exactly what you're doing, you're going to be crushed. So I think it worked out for us later after doing some strategies.
And I don't want to look past this match, but say if you were to beat TSM, what does that say about you guys as a team worldwide, in potential rankings?
Like I said on the interview before, I don't care too much about rankings. I mean, CSGO is... Everyone is so tired that you can see a lot of teams beating each other when it comes to the high level. So I'm not much concerned about that.
All right, well guys, best of luck. If you want to shake hands and head back to your booths, we're going to get this match going. And we are firstly going to head back to my friends over on the desk.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, Parla. Yeah.
We are on the desk, though. He's got that
He got that bit right,
yeah.
didn't he? No, good job, Parla. Well done. Anyway, so, you heard it there. Luminosity... super happy, it seems almost to be at this stage of the tournament, which I think was way beyond their expectations. And of course, it's an honor to be respected by TSM. I don't know if there's a little bit of kidology there from TSM, because I do know that they weren't expecting to play them.
This is the best possible semi-final opponent for TSM. Forget how great the play was yesterday.
Tell me why.
Because, again, if they'd have played NIP, well, we've seen they always have something going on against NIP where they get a bit shook. They've played against Envious. Envious might just outright beat them, they're kryptonite. So you just look at the tournament as a whole. This is a dream to get Luminosity at this point, especially because, yes, Luminosity had this amazing yesterday, but essentially they showed you their hand there. They only have a few strats on certain maps. You know the maps they're strong on. You know there's maps they haven't even played yet. Actually, every ball's in the court of TSM, essentially. Like, they have all the advantages going into this series. Meanwhile, when I'm looking at the Luminosity side, the only real way I can see them winning is another miracle upset win. Like, there's not really any way to chart it out how they'd win the series.
And obviously Maniac has joined us now, a man or two knows something about balls. What do you think of Thorin's statement there?
Well, I think he has a point. Obviously, Luminosity used a lot of their resources to get there. But on the other hand, you can look at this way. TSM, what we know from this tournament, they've played 2 best-of-1s. One, they totally destroyed Liquid, so that's fair, 16-0. Then they had a pretty good showing against Virtus.pro, even though they fell kind of short on the last side. On the other hand, Luminosity played 6 maps, 5 different out of them, so I'd say they are kind of used, now they're ready. I mean, they trained everything, played almost every map, so I don't know, maybe it might play for them, actually, in this case.
We're going to introduce TSM. And again, they are a team that need no introduction. We'll come to you in a moment, Ven, but I will get Duncan to do this.
Okay, so we'll start on the left. Device, one of the most skilled players in the world. I actually thought going into the major he was the best player. His form was at the best, but obviously he suffered along with TSM at that tournament. But in this tournament, we saw in the first game against Team Liquid, he was in absolutely insane form. Had like 28 kills. A guy who can do everything, but in general likes a slightly more passive style. Then to his right is Dupree, who's the entry fragger of the team. Well, very good rifler, certainly. Very good on pistol rounds as well. In the middle is the in-game leader, Karrigan. Interestingly enough, in-game leader, this is a similarity these two teams share actually. In-game leader, tactician, and primary AWPer, which is obviously what Fallen does over on the other side. So that's actually quite rare at the top level. It's interesting Fallen's managed to make that work for himself as well. On the right there is Zipnix. He's kind of the supportive player within the team. He's a player who's a very stable player. He's a very smart player. The way he plays a lot of the clutch rounds reminds me a bit of how Neo plays them. He like always uses his position rather than his aim. On the right here's Cage and B. As his name suggests, he is a bit spicy. He's the guy where he'll either go crazy and dominate a map. It does happen. Or sometimes, as we saw even in their 16-0, he might just not turn up. He might just go, oh, well, I just was in the server and whatever happens, happens. So he's kind of the wild card for me.
Well, Vendetta, I want you to maybe highlight a player who you think is going to have a particularly good time here against Luminosity. Who should we be looking at?
I'm going to go with Karrigan because, well, we know just from seeing the previous games that Device is probably going to drop 20 frags because he's been doing that for a couple of months now. So I'm looking to Karrigan, especially knowing what kind of maps that TSM are looking to play. They know that Luminosity have been banning out Dust 2 the entire tournament, and that gives them an opportunity to first pick Overpass. And on Overpass, Karrigan is kind of just a leading force. He's the one who drives everything for TSM. He's the first guy in on every bomb site, even though he's the caller, and he's extremely good at getting opening frags on the various bomb sites there. So Karrigan, it's going to be interesting to see how he does for me as well. And given that the second map is most likely going to be Mirage, because that's what LG have been leaning on, Karrigan plays a huge part in how he plays that middle area with the AWP. And you mentioned that, you know, when he plays Mirage, he's kind of just that, he turns into a different beast with that AWP. And we've seen it several times. So if he can get going on Mirage as well, I think this could be a really quick 2-0.
So let's introduce Luminosity. The team that Vendetta just talked about there. And again, Duncan, I'll get you to tell me about these guys.
Okay, so on the right-hand side here, Taco is the new man. He's the guy we know the least about. He didn't necessarily have a great series yesterday, but he certainly contributed on some rounds. In fact, it was more towards the end of the series he came alive, it felt like, especially on the third map. So the new guy in the team here, to his left, also a reasonably new guy. He's only been in the team a few months, but he's really established himself now as the star, which is Cold Zero. Now, an interesting thing to point about him, he first established himself for this really great rifling, but he actually has quite a good kind of secondary AWP going, actually. He tends to only pick it when it's the right site to play that on, or like the right opponent to play it on, but he's pretty good with it, as we saw against NIP. In the middle's Fallen. I think yesterday, maybe he overperformed a little bit with his AWP. He was really stunning there, getting all the first picks with it, even on CT sides. You don't always see it quite that level, even though he was a great 1.6 AWPer. But the key thing in him is, it reminds me of Karrigan, because since he's the primary AWPer and the tactician, he uses an AWP when it makes sense within the tactic, or to get information, and then even if he dies, when he takes that aggressive position, he'll be able to call out how many people are coming there, what the tactic might be. So it's a different way to use an AWP compared to a Guardian or a Skedoodle who sit in a spot and they just kill everyone who comes there. To his left is FNX, his former teammate from Fire Gamers towards the end of 1.6, a legendary player. But what's interesting is when they added him here, we were like, will he be at the level he was at before? He hasn't been, but he's just been very good in clutch rounds. So it feels like, even though you look at the scoreboard, he was never that high up. He had a lot of impact kills, and he won rounds. That's the big thing. So if he can do that here, he can give them a chance against a team like TSM. And then the last man on the left is Fur, very skilled player. Maybe I feel like he did have some games against NIP where he was doing quite well, but I feel like he's the one guy in the team where I feel like he's still figuring out his role, because he used to just be the hard carry. You base the whole team around him, let him do what he wants. But now that suddenly Cold Zero's there and he's kind of the star of the show, first trying to figure out, like, how do I be that kind of like sidekick player and still have big games when it's my map or something? But what do I do when it's not going for me? He'd never had that problem before.
So Maniac, we can see the veto is live. Luminosity removing Dust 2. Obviously, they're triggered by that now.
And it's
to talk us
TSM's
through
best
it.
map, that helps.
Yeah. So we see here Luminosity going for Mirage, which is kind of a good map for TSM still. I was wondering if they would go for Cash, because they had the possibility. They played a decent Cash against NIP, and we know that TSM is not really super comfortable on Cash. Then obviously TSM, as you pointed out, Vendetta, they would go for Overpass. I mean, the question was, would Luminosity ban Dust2 or Overpass? Obviously TSM would jump on the occasion and take the second one. So they take Overpass. That should go
Here's what I
TSM's way.
expect now. So the ban is Luminosity Train, which means the choice is for TSM. TSM will ban Cash, and they will let the last map be Inferno.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
funny thing is, talking to Carrigan backstage, I think they would have probably banned Train had it been there. I don't think they necessarily.
No, they would have,
play
because
it.
they also know Luminosity would have banned Cash because they were triggered
Yeah.
by yesterday's game against NIP. So I think actually these two play out the same way either.
Yeah, and actually Luminosity in both their best of 3 had the same veto, Dust2 and Train. So I think TSM just see it coming.
But I think it's very, very likely we're going to see Inferno here, as we do
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with this map veto is if I forgot Luminosity existed and I just looked at what are these maps like for TSM, these are 3 really good maps for them. These are like 3 of their top 4 maps. So I look at these and I say, they can win every single map here. I look on Luminosity's side and I'm like, okay, I know on Mirage they can be really good. They could do something amazing there. The other 2 maps, I get really questionable about, especially Overpass. I don't think they can win that. And Inferno, I mean, I haven't seen anything from this new lineup on that in that respect. So it feels hard to feel like Luminosity can still win the series after the veto.
Of course, the old lineup did beat Fnatic on Inferno when Fnatic were Imperious on that map. But you're right. I mean, it kind of resets any previous, doesn't it, when you get into this sort of stage? So we didn't highlight a player to watch for Luminosity. I think we can do that now.
Yeah, I mean, even if Fur and Coldzera are obviously the brute force of the team, I want to keep an eye on Fallen because of the fact that he's playing against a team that has potentially 4 AWP. Only Xypnix doesn't really pick that up. So I think he will have a big role in this match, get challenged by Carrigan, Cajun, Device. So if he shows up with the AWP and if he's able to take those entry frags with the AWP, that might open things up for Luminosity, but he will have a key role.
Okay, well, gentlemen, I've been told the players are hot to trot. We've got the 90-second warning in. Means I'm going to push you to predictions. Vendetta, I'm going to start with you and work my way in.
To me, this seems like an easy 2-0 for TSM, actually. Just listening to Kerrigan talk about how confident they feel in their own Mirage play convinced me, I guess. So, yeah, because he said we're a top 3 team on Mirage. We can beat anyone. So I'm going to go with the 2-0 for TSM.
I think everything will come down to Mirage. I think so. I will go for 2-1 TSM. Meaning maybe Luminosity will take Mirage, and then they will lose the next 2 maps.
I'm going to have to go 2-0 TSM. Like, I don't think, unfortunately, that the Luminosity we saw yesterday turns up now. Even if they do, TSM's prepared for it. They've watched the demos. It's not the same as the scenario that NiP and Envious faced. So I think TSM's quality is just too good, from the lineup to the tactics to the team play to the experience. This will be a 2-0 TSM.
Okay, well, we'll see who's right after the break. Thanks a lot for your thoughts, gentlemen. Now, obviously, before we do get into the game, we interviewed both teams about this semi-final to get their thoughts. Enjoy it.
We want to be world champions, and I don't know if we're gonna be this time, but one day we'll get there.
We feel ourselves that over the whole year we actually play good, and if you look at our top finishes, we feel like confident that we can actually be a top team for every tournament. So that's important for us to show today.
We're gonna play TSM in the semifinals, which is pretty cool. I think it's a pretty difficult matchup. They have awesome players. Carrigan is a great game leader, and Device is playing off his mind right now.
I think we made some stuff back for the major, but we haven't had the time or the situation to actually play our tactics. So we still have something new to the table, but it's depending on which maps we're gonna play today.
Are you ready, DreamHack? It's going to be the second semi-finals here, and it's between TSM and Luminosity. What a fantastic matchup. It's going to be best of 3 as well, and we just saw the map picks there. What do you think, Stemler? Who's going to win this?
I have to agree with Thorin. I think that all 3 of these maps are super solid maps for TSM. The only way that TSM loses this best of 3 is if they defeat themselves, Anders. Is if they give it up.
That is deep. That is very deep. I like that. Well, you know, as a commentator, it's important to be impartial. And as such, you know...
Envy are out of the tournament now. Don't have to worry about that.
So that's gone for you. NiP is out, so obviously, you know, I can't, as president of the fan club, I obviously can't, you
Exactly,
know,
right? We're lifetime members, Anders.
Yeah, exactly.
Lifetime members of the NiP fan club.
So instead, I mean, the problem is now they've come up with all these very good arguments on the analyst desk and backstage as well. And I was hearing Kerrigan talking as well, you know, but so something in me just says, like, this LG team, people keep underestimating. They beat Envy on LAN, you know. What is this? I don't want to throw them on the bus about it. I think this is going to be a very open game here. But TSM do have the advantage of having seen a lot of what Luminosity have on Mirage already. They know so much about how they play, and they have been playing very similarly on both days. So we'll see how it goes. It's thesco holding the B-bomb site here. And there's a bit of a trick up his sleeve as well. Good headshot. More coming in. Sip going to pick up a kill there as well on Fur. And now the rest are trying to get in. thesco actually saving Sipnix for a while. And Cold is going to get 2 in return. Now it's a 2-on-3. And the bomb, could they even get it down here?
They can't make that jump. Kerrigan's already holding the line on short. And there's a man in kitchen as well watching the exit, but they've actually got a man stuck in the corner that's Cold. He's out by the van. He's going to have to try and do something big here to get Fallen out of this tight spot. The smoke goes down, but that's only to block off the site, so Fallen still needs to make a pass, and he takes advantage of the flash. Perfect timing for Fallen, and he's trying to get a kill, but now it's all just about getting this bomb planted, Anders. He's got to count on Cold to keep him alive for as long as he can, but no, he's not in the right spot, Cold. He's not going to have the angle to keep his in-game leader alive in this case.
So very cool stuff and a very basic setup for TSM in the beginning there. As long as thesco is keeping them occupied, it's a little more unlikely that someone's going to be hiding in the corner. And that very basic combo, just imagine how easy it is to set that up. That lands them the first 2 kills. I mean, even if thesco doesn't get the instant headshot, which is great, but even if not, that sets them up for a very strong likelihood of getting the opening frag. They get the bomb plant because they're not Envy Semler. They don't actually go for a buy.
They don't go for Forest, really? And yeah.
Happy's out there, someone shaking his head.
Where's Fallen?
Fallen,
he still decides to drop like $700 more, $1,000 in this round. So I mean, there's quite an investment still. But it looks like Luminosity, they really are going to be focusing on this B site. We've seen a lot of A from them, but now it's going to be over on the B. And that's still going to be thesco and Xyp9x working together. And now they're trying to set up, again, different tactics. This is what you have to love as well. CT defense, when you're in a unit, these two, they're always going to be trying to find different ways to keep Luminosity guessing so they don't get too predictable when it comes to a push-up onto that site. And now Kerrigan makes his way over here as well after clearing mid. The defense is going to be so solid here on the site, Anders.
Yeah, and one click there from Sip is going to take care of thesco. Might be more coming in, but actually a nice shot from FNX is going to take care of Xyp9x. Now thesco is still hiding in the site, and they haven't seen him yet. That's the bomb down, turns 90 degrees to take down Fallen, and it's going to be for dropping last here, so a couple of kills happening for Luminosity. They're going to be able to buy this round. I mean, I think that's a fairly successful round. 2 kills like that.
Yeah, another bomb plant would have been fantastic. But yeah, thesco and the trigger control on thesco as well. He doesn't give away his position on the first man he sees walks past. Instead, it's Kerrigan drawing the attention to himself, and the thesco just wrecks Luminosity, wrecks that round for him, gets the 2 kills. So very well played there by TSM, showing a little bit of poise going into those high-pressure situations. And now it is going to be that buy, as you said. And again, Luminosity, man, they're just going to rinse and repeat. They realize that they're at least getting out onto the site now. It's going to be some fine-tuning that's going to... and not taking an HE to the face. That's going to be necessary here.
Devastating, because there's more grenades to follow up as well behind this, including a Molotov. They're trying to get into the site. They're going to be successful as well. Great start from thesco here, but they're all on fire up there. Xyp9x going to take down one. He sprays and can't get the second one. Still, TSM are hot en route here for the B-bomb site, and bomb is not yet. It's going to be planted. No, it won't. Kerrigan actually going to stop it. What a save.
Kerrigan's all over the place as well. He just needs to stay alive because now he's got a man in kitchen watching that angle, and the backstab is coming in as well. But there is a man waiting up there that's Cold, making sure that it can't come through. Double flash, works full, and that's going to be beautiful. Cajun, free kill for him. Cold gets caught, and now it's going to be thesco and Fallen, the last 2 alive here. They're still battling, but Cajun misses the shot. He actually comes back and makes up for it. And a 1v2 situation now for thesco to try and make this bomb plan happen for his team.
And if that bomb had gone down, he'd be in such a much better position, but this is very tricky indeed. Walking into the kitchen, device is ready and waiting, and it goes down. It's going to be 30 seconds now, and the bomb is actually being controlled by Cajun, who's currently got a double kill, looking for the triple. He sprays, he wins it, and that's going to be TSM making it 3-0, a big win for them here. And Cajun coming into play as well. That's interesting and a very bad sign for LG, because he's been very sort of off and on lately, and I guess more off than on, really.
I agree. Hot and cold. He hasn't really been cutting it. You know, see there, a little bit of a missed opportunity. Still guarantees the frag. But this was still too close. I mean, look at how much damage he actually ended up taking when the man only had 6 HP. He needed 1 bullet. Took him way too long to get that 1 kill.
Hiding in the smoke here. thesco not going to see them coming. It's cold. When we say hot and cold, we don't mean this kind of cold. This cold is very hot indeed. It's going to be FNX taking down Carrigan, Fur to drop, and Sipnik's doing a really good job in the bomb side. He gets knifed by FNX though. Oh no, that's definitely a little bit upsetting. Means they get the bomb down. This is already a big round here for Luminosity, and TSM have got to compose themselves. They're kind of far away from the bomb side though. Taking their time, Cold going to go down, and that might just be what they need.
Oh no, shooting at your own teammate as well. A little bit of miscommunication perhaps on Luminosity's side. FNX wired tight here, but they've got 2 rifles. One of them is down. Now it's going to come down to FNX, and he gets backstabbed by Dupree. Well played there by TSM, but we should definitely be seeing an AWP now for Fallen. With that knife, it's a guarantee. 1,500 bonus dollars on top of the 800, on top of everything else for Luminosity. So this is going to be the big round now. Just money across the board, mass money. And Fallen doesn't go for it. He goes for the AK instead.
I was going to say a lot of money and no AWP, but then Carrigan on the other side, has he picked up one? We can't really see that yet because it's on the floor. Yeah, so it's going to be the AWP just for the TSM side. And I don't know if the desk was mentioning this. I love mentioning it, Semler, and you know it. Carrigan on Mirage with the AWP here in the middle is quite a terrifying force if you don't know how to stop it.
And Luminosity aren't even interested in facing it. They know that if Carrigan goes for that AWP, he's going to be lurking around mid at first, and then he'll start shifting it up. He'll start changing up his position. Instead, early on, they want to try and hit to that A site, but Carrigan one step ahead. He's already here. 3 players with 1 close by for TSM. The defense, it's going to be tough here for Luminosity to crack through. They need to hit an insane headshot to start, but Carrigan lashes out, and he removes FNX. Another one for him. Fair down now, and it's going to be down to Cold, Taco, and just the 2 of them as Fallen gets picked off.
Taco all alone. He could have been a good distraction. He could have been an even better sort of flanker if they were ever going to go for a defuse in a plant situation. That never happened. Carrigan wrecking them in that A-bomb site. Hard to get in, and especially because you don't really expect the AWP player to be at the center of the bomb site at that point in time. You expect them to be at CT spawn, maybe jungle, definitely not that far in. So it's not a position you'd normally smoke off, and that just gave him the opening here. So LG, a little bit down here. They've got the AWP now on Fallen, and between Carrigan and Fallen, even on this map, I think Fallen might come out ahead.
Oh, the fresh smoke. Yeah, that it is. But yeah, Fallen, he can win the duel flat out versus Carrigan, but it's always funny about Carrigan on this map. He just seems to, it's like Smiths on Dust 2 way back in the day, when he just seems to just get this extra level. It's not Carrigan getting picked off this time in Connector, though. It will be Device. And so now the man advantage for Luminosity. They've managed to actually give themselves some space to work with. Zipnik's in a bit of a tricky spot, though.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely love this. A lot of information being given here. Fur gonna go down, trying to peek into the middle. Carrigan playing on the other side of the smoke, and they didn't expect Sip to be here. Taking down one, they're gonna go for a second one. They try and jump in. He sprayed another headshot, triple spray down. They all line up for him, and Taco now, well, he's gonna be alone here in a 1-on-4. And all he has to do is some damage right now, but he gets flashed, and he does sort of escape into the smoke, but might not be quite enough here. They're coming for him from every angle, it seems. Taco will get Cajun killed. Damage is important.
They need to keep all 3 of these members alive, though, TSM. Take your time. You know you've got bomb. You know you've got control. So just set it up and remove this guy without losing anybody else. You need to maintain that strong economy on the CT side. You never, if you're TSM right now, want to get into the situation where somebody's forcing. A bit too far on the HE. Taco, he hangs in there, but not a single point of damage taken by the remaining 3 members for TSM. That is perfect. It really should allow them to start getting that strong bank. 3 guys floating above, no, 4 floating above 7,000. Now this gets to be a real nightmare for Luminosity, and it's a good time to take a pause on their part. If this is a tactical pause, that is. And we're getting the question. Yes, okay, so it is a tactical pause, a tactical timeout here for Luminosity. And yeah, they need to find out something. They need to figure something out here, because now it's getting to the point where they're not gonna have any easy rounds anytime soon.
I mean, a lot of what we're seeing here, I think, comes down to, again, TSM already having a couple of maps from this tournament where they can see what Luminosity did. And there is a limit to how much Luminosity could have developed before coming into this tournament. It's not like their depth on this map could be infinite. And this is the problem. You get deep into a tournament, you sort of already played a lot of your really good hands on this map. People know what your tricks are. And Carrigan and the rest of the team, you know, they've been studying them really hard. I know that I asked them about it. And now, could they sort of reinvent some of the stuff along the way? It's very difficult to do that.
Well, that's what has to happen for Luminosity as well. We keep having to put the emphasis on this, that they have 2 new members, and yes, those 2 new members are doing great work for them. Fair, I mean, FNX and Taco, you know, that matching up with Cold and Fair, I mean, there's just brutal strength on the Luminosity side. But then the tactical game, that's all going to come down to whether or not Fallen can actually put this together. And
Look
yeah,
at
this is sick.
Well played, guys. Well played with the Danish flag. So brave as well, bringing a Danish flag right into, you know, a Swedish event there. I like it. I like it, definitely.
Not going to have any summer nudes, though, this man.
No nudes?
No nudes.
What is this, Semler?
But this is why, you know, Anders,
I thought you were a fan pleaser.
Yeah, not that. So you always put the emphasis on Kerrigan as having the AWP, right? And that was like 7 months ago when TSM, you know, that was their trump card, right? They got Kerrigan that up. He was super solid with it, but then they started getting figured out. And that forced TSM to evolve again, right? You know, it's just like in Pokemon, right? You know, they were a Pikachu, and, you know, Kerrigan's like zapping fools left and right. But then they had to go up, man. They had to go up a level. They had to figure it out, because that's really just going to help TSM so much and really hurt Luminosity, because now TSM have more depth to their CT side. They don't just rely on Kerrigan. Now you see Device going for a Scar 20. They can try and shake things up and make it even more difficult for Luminosity to figure out how to crack the defense.
Device with a Scar 20. Just imagine the wreckage that could be following this one. And they're setting up for an A push, and even with the smokes down, that does not stop the auto sniper. If you got a little bit of intuition here, it'll still be very powerful. They line up. Actually, just going to be the 1 kill as well. FNX with a very strong refrag, and that's huge for Luminosity. Now can they actually push through? They need this round. 6-0 is not a good sign. They got to get in here and try and win it. They're sort of stuck right now, sandwiched in there, and Cajun going to be spraying them down. It's going to be the double, looking for the triple. Falls off with the pistol out, and he's going to get it. Yeah, when I say Cajun, Semler,
you get punched. Because Cajun hates that now, dude. I started that too once. I was like, hey, Cajun, I say. And he's just like, shut up. I'm like, okay, Cajun.
That's never going to go away. Cold is going to be alone here, and again, damage is good, especially if you're going to remove one of those expensive rifles, AWP or Auto Sniper. If you're not winning rounds, you at least got to make sure that the CT side economy doesn't flourish, and it's always at a minimum, so that when you do win a round, you can force them to eco and you can pull some rounds together, and things are a little bit better. That's not the case right now, and Cold needs to get another 2 kills here even to sort of make a real dent.
Nice try there. I mean, with the pre-fire, he didn't go deep enough. And now they're just waiting for this guy to try and hang himself, but that's not going to be the case. Cold already looking to back off. Smart move on his part. He is going to force them to spend some more money here. 47.50. Oh, but Dupree doesn't let it happen.
Wow.
And he's actually going to turn around. He should be able to make the op. Oh, he doesn't make it in time. So it works out the same way for Luminosity. Cold trying to deny the AWP, have that for his team in the next round, but at least they forced TSM to spend a lot more money in this one. Boom. Nice round by Cajun, though. I thought that he'd given it himself away when he put those 2 shots when the flash came in. He shot twice, and I'm like, oh no, that's it. Element of surprise is gone. They're going to know. But it doesn't seem like Luminosity were so focused. They had no idea that he was up there on the balcony despite those shots.
Well, Cajun right now is actually topping the KD ratio with 9-1-1. So that's like a sign. Luminosity need to call the police, but TSM are the police. How's that going to work out?
He needed that last week, dude, honestly.
Fur's got 0-1-7, and he was doing so well yesterday. He was having an incredible game. So right now, something needs to change for Luminosity. I think Janko's pointing it out as well. This is a critical map here for this particular
yeah, you go into overpass. TSM don't lose overpass. It's as simple as that. So Luminosity, they have to come up with something big here on Mirage, because if it goes to overpass and they're down 0-1, that's where I think TSM are going to be able to, you know, have that rematch, have that match versus Fnatic, that new Fnatic roster over in the finals.
I mean, it's looking tricky right now, but they've gone for Tech9 and a little bit of armor and a lot of smokes as well. And what they're doing here could end up being a bit of a fake. They've got everyone setting up, and they've got a couple of people outside of B, so I'm wondering how they're going to play this one.
They've got Fur chilling. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you think, is it time for the matchmaking strat? I mean, if you go for a full smoke execute onto the A side, it could take TSM a little bit to realize that the bomb isn't there. But then TSM are also, like, this is a veteran team, you know? It works. This is why it works once in a blue moon, because teams are so good now at not rotating until they see the bomb. When they see the bomb, they rotate. Wow, Cajun B up close versus Tech9's never a good idea. He gets picked off immediately by Fallen.
Oh, if this works, it'll be beautiful. That would be a great way to come back in the game, but Dupree, why are you being this way? That was a great fake, and he reads it very well, and you are right, Samler. They didn't see the bomb, so they don't bite just yet. Device is going to go down. That was a nice shot from Cold. Mid-air, shutting him down with the Tech9. Still 10 seconds left, means this round cannot be won any longer, and it's just about saving whatever you've got. Molotov, though, oh no, it's Cold and Heartless, isn't it? He's going to get burned alive, and Fallen, well, he's in a 1-on-3 and he can't even like save a rifle anywhere. This is a cruel round from TSM.
Nah, that's painful. Fallen really needed that money. He might be able to, no, okay, never mind. I was thinking he might be able to get a teammate to drop him an AWP, but then he can't trade with an AK. So instead, he's going to get dropped an AK, and it looks like Fer is just, he's given up, Anders. He's like, I'll just take the Tech 9. I'll be the cannon fodder. I'll run in first, draw the fire, get the info, and then let you guys come in and mop up after.
They need something to change here. And maybe for getting a little bit pressure on it, a little bit less pressure, you know, being just running with the Tech 9 and having, if you can just like have one good round, that could definitely spark him back into play, but they need that right now. And he's looking for the kill. That could have definitely been it. Not sure why he didn't hit that shot. And that's obviously a bit of a gift to TSM, but there's mid-control for LG. That's how they started off a lot of their really good rounds yesterday on Mirage, with the mid-control, and then they went very aggressive, and we'll see if they can do something similar here. dupreeh getting boosted up on the box, though, and it's going to take down Cold. An easy headshot there, it seemed. Carrigan clearing the middle from Connector.
Very dangerous, and well, the man Ferris should hear that as well. He should hear the unscoping, the scoping and unscoping, so I guess he's just waiting for Kerrigan to overcommit rather than trying to jump in there and take him by surprise. I feel like Ferry yesterday would have just gone for it YOLO, but they are still just waiting, Luminosity, for TSM to make the mistake. Very patient play coming in from the Brazilians. dupreeh on short, there you go. We'll get caught, and it's not the mistake that's made, it's just Fallen deciding to step in there and create an opportunity.
Oh, Taco very low on health, and he's not going to make it out either. Cajun finding more kills. Kerrigan going down, that's a nice opening. Cajun is still in the sight here, and the problem now becomes the clock here. 18 seconds left, and if the bomb dies and if Cajun just stays alive, that's a big problem. It's now a double kill, and he's looking for more. He has to reload yet another headshot, and he's even spotted Fallen out. He's surprised that he can't get it. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Fallen can't make this crossing, and that's going to be it. The clock ultimately defeating LG here, and will help at Sipnix, but if there had been more time, then Fallen could have taken a long fight with Sip and try to make that work. It doesn't work out that way. It's 9-0 in favor of TSM, with Cajun dropping 12, 2, and 3 right now.
Well, it's a pretty convenient time to have a mic problem for this pause. Just gonna say. But yeah, solid time. Solid hold by Cajun. Thought that he would be done for it, because the man on the site behind Triple, if he waits another second before facing Cajun, I think he was worried about the man coming in jungle. That's the issue, right? He's stuck behind this box, but it's a game of seconds at that point. If he's able to hold on just a little bit longer, the man coming out of pit gets the flank on Cajun, but then Xyp9x is also coming through jungle, so if he hangs around for a second, Xyp9x shoots him in the side. So yeah, it just breaks TSM's way that time. Cajun was up to the task of getting the headshots, and while it's a 9-0 lead right now, bit of a tough situation here.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what like a good play is right now for the LG team. Carrigan even spotting at the edge of the smoke, something that JW on the Fnatic team loves to do. They do re-smoke it. Carrigan not with much of an opportunity. They've got to be careful here.
Pressure is on, though. They're going to go straight in. This is a bit of an envy play, but Kerrigan point blank will take out Fallen. FNX with the double, Kerrigan with 2. He's going to get the 1 point blank, and he can get the 4th as well. The man on stairs just waiting for him, and there it is. Kerrigan just laying them low, one after another. 1 on 2 now. Taco, he spots the man in connector, and he knows somebody's up on stairs as well. There's the info, but they play it so well, TSM. They peek together. He has no way to get both kills at the same time. And a 10-0 lead for TSM just keeps getting bigger and bigger, Anders.
1 shot away from the ace was Kerrigan then. What a hero here. I mean, we've seen him in the past as well, with some really big clutches at IEM, but then sort of almost trying. It was very close. This guy is on the brink of some pretty good stuff every once in a while. 10-0, and I was going to say, I think a sort of a traditional A push this time with one guy lurking middle is a very good idea, because if you roll the dice in A long enough, then eventually you'll hit a good timing for it. Cajun gonna go down, FNX with the shot, and the second one too. Great opening here for the Brazilian team. Now has got to be the time. They need to make this 10-5 and come back in this game. We know they could do it. Flashed as well, but he's still alive and escapes through the smoke. dupreeh can't see a thing, and he's gonna go down. It's the 3rd kill for FNX, and it's looking good. Fallen is gonna go down, but that bomb is planted. Oh, grenade! It's a touchdown on Fer, and he's gonna be gone. And FNX is very very low. How much more can he do at this point in time? He gets another kill, making it a quad. He finally dies to Karrigan, but he's got his knife out. He's gonna tap the bomb once, and Cold is coming around the boxes as well. Karrigan, he no-scopes him, no way! And that's gonna be TSM winning it. That's not a fair way to win a round.
Yeah, a bit of a TSM chant there. That's well-deserved. Karrigan. This by Xyp9x already. Wow. Okay, the touchdown nade as well. I mean, just every single thing. But this one, this is just a thing of beauty. Boom.
What's so brutal about that grenade that hits Fur is that he sees it coming and he knows, I can't do anything. I'm done.
There's no getting out of it. Oh, and now Karrigan's changing it. Oh, he misses the shot, though. Just gonna dunk a nade up there. Hello. And misses the flick, so... Still, Luminosity getting put on notice a little bit. Karrigan willing to go out there and hunt. He's really got his confidence up right now. You know, this is going to definitely come down to whether Luminosity or not. I mean, Luminosity, they need to find just some headshots here. They need to figure it out because they're getting onto sites. And then now it's just coming down to these clutch situations. And they keep going the Danish way.
I mean, FNX had 4 kills that round and they still lost it. He dropped a quad in the round. Cold is going to open it up, and I think that's what they need. They need some of that Cold Zero magic. It's going to be FNX going down and then Cold dropping next to Karrigan. Cajun hiding at the edge of the smoke. It's almost flanking Taco. I mean, this is just beautiful positional play right now from Cajun over at that A-bomb site. Fur and Fall on the left. This is unreal.
Nice timing with the flash.
I don't know how you bring this back. Fallen will get a shot on Dupree. 35 seconds here. Sip is going to go down, taking one with him. Good spray from Fur here, and now it's Karrigan coming in. The bomb is picked up, and it's going to be put down as well, but how does he get up from behind the box? That's a big question. If he missteps here, then Karrigan is ready for it. He sees him coming, and that's a nice information play from Fur. He knows where he is. Now all he has to do is try and stay aligned back here. Use the clock against Karrigan. He's got a flashbang as well. You can see him putting him out now to go for a bit of a peek. It's good timing, and Karrigan gonna miss the flick. And he just moves closer with the USP. Picks up an MP, or sorry, an M4 instead. Jumping over the box. Fur still hiding in the back lines here. Plenty of time for the bomb, and Karrigan is just walking in there. Not gonna get the shot through, and Fur will clutch it. A triple kill for him as well. And Luminosity are finally on the board.
Now there we go, and Fur now coming through. Cold start for him at the beginning of the half. That's the kind of clutch that they need to win Luminosity. If they're going to get through TSM, they have to be able to come through in the clutch, get the job done. And so a couple of these rounds have been so close that big bank that TSM started the half off with has been depleted. So now we can see just the limit that they're on. They decide to go for the force buy because they have such a huge lead right now, TSM. There's no reason for them to not go for it, but clever. Following with the boost at the back of mid, and he takes out Karrigan in mid window.
Great trick to open up the round with. We need more of that right now from the Brazilian team. That's a given here, but an opening frag on Karrigan is not bad.
They're going to be splitting it. I mean, the bomb is still all the way back in T-spawn, though, for Luminosity. This is slowing them down a little bit. They really could just try and group up and go towards that A site, but there's Device, finds the headshot and fairing connector. They bring it back to a 4-on-4, and Cajun waiting in T-spawn, catches out Taco. That bomb is still sitting back there. Luminosity, they have to go back for it eventually. And it is going to be the man holding up in B spawn, exactly, in B apartments. He's going to be heading back. FNX now, making his way all the way back to this bomb with 45 seconds left. This is really going to force Luminosity's hand as far as the time is concerned. And it does look like they want to wind up on A. They're still, thinking going through connector here at this point, or going for the big jump.
And that does make a lot of noise, though, so Dupree will hear it coming. He sees Fallen. That's a free kill. Turns around and takes out Cold as well. Just stunning play from Dupree here, and it's going to be FNX now 1-on-4. And he's got the bomb at least, because you're right, he was sent on bomb duty, but if he tries to put it on Cage, you're not even going to wait here. That's going to reset Luminosity. Oh, it's just a painful Mirage map to watch right now.
No, it's not pretty. This isn't pretty. But it can't be another 16-0 Anders. So Luminosity have that going for them, right?
At least there's that. How many is it, like 2 out of the 3 that have been this year at big tournaments? It's been
in one day as well.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Yeah, obviously Luminosity thinking we need at least the last 3 rounds here, so let's just go all in and go for the Tech-9 armor buy and see if it works. That wasn't an HE luckily enough, but Sip is still back here. Grenade is still going to be very well timed. He sprays 2 right afterwards, and mid-air, Dupree's going to be catching that kill, making it a double and looking for the last one as well. They know where Cold is, and I don't think he's going to make it out of this one alive, sadly. Does get a single kill in there. The rest of TSM not even really moving, they're just waiting. Is Cajun been disconnected, or is he just not interested anymore?
It's like, you guys got this. 3 of you versus a guy with a Tech-9 up in B apartments. You know where he is. You've got all the nades. There's no way that yeah, he's just being lazy. He's like, just gonna wait here.
It's very sad. I was very much looking forward to seeing how TSM would counter all of the very aggressive play that LG was doing yesterday on the CT side. And right now, we might not even get to see much of that just because of how this is playing out.
Ooh. Now that's a cool smoke, walking off short early. They need to get up into connector quick though if they're gonna make use of it. Luminosity. Smoke went down and now Taco, he's gonna be real close. Kerrigan not in the best position. Yeah, wiped out immediately, well within lethal range, and in the 15th round it's Luminosity, all or nothing now. They need a second round, they need at least a little bit of a buffer.
Oh, and Cajun, he's allowed to take 2 with him. Just a second longer, and maybe he would have been shot in the side of the head instead. Device is going to be taking down 1, and it is going to be FNX. Nice 1D there on Sip. He needs just 1 more as well. Spraying madly through the smoke with a deagle as well, and Device is going to finish it. There will be a triple for him. 14-1 in favor of TSM here on the first map. That's hard to come back from, Semler, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if you realized, but I'll tell you anyway.
Thanks.
Just in case you
pointed that out, man, yeah.
Some good inside info here.
A perfect half. Score, yeah. Love it in Sweden.
Yeah, people stepping up with the science.
14-1, I mean. No, it's just that the clutches never went Luminosity's way. TSM you always had somebody on TSM getting 2-3 frags in a round, and that just can't be allowed to happen. You have to trade effectively. You always have to be going into these sites. If you're gonna go for an A execute, first man dies, great, second man follows it up. You can't let Cajun just wreck you repeatedly over by Pit. Fair's gonna start off strong by taking out Zipnix though, so at least there's a strong start in the pistol round here for Luminosity. It goes without saying that the pistol is going to be all important. If they lose it, they're pretty much done for.
We'll see if it's gonna be possible here. It would be nice to have sort of an almost perfect half, return, but this isn't nuke or, 1.6 train, so it's a little bit more difficult to do it, actually. Fur in the middle, can hear them stepping. He really wants to peek, but he's a little bit scared. Actually, not that scared at all. Jumps right into underpass, goes up, checks the middle, sees if he can win that fight. FNX taking 1, Taco with the second kill there on Cajun, and FNX with the double now. It's gonna be Device left, and he goes down as well. Nice round from Luminosity. Nobody dies.
All over the place. TSM, they were spread out. Cajun, he goes raid boss, so he has the Tech-9, he has the Kevlar, but he's not with the kill group. He's just like lurking off on his own. A little bit weird. And then Zipnix getting picked off so very early on, that really seemed to throw TSM for loops. I mean, TSM, they did go for 3-1, right? Three guys as like the death group that are just gonna walk onto a site and try and wipe out the defense, and then Cajun lurking.
Oh no, the Deagle.
Yeah, didn't work.
They have 4 of them as well, so they're definitely ready. They even swapped so the Kerrigan will be closer to the middle with the Deagle.
It's like, jump again, I dare ya.
Yeah.
I double dog dare ya.
He really wants that to happen.
There we are.
And Dupree gonna open up on 1. This is a little bit scary. This is where things get really rough for Luminosity. If they lose 1 more to one of these Deags, it could get tricky. Smoke goes up for Taco to make it out. TSM, they are happy to wait. There's still a minute left on the clock here. So if LG are going to give them some opportunities, and there was definitely one. FNX very low. Device playing close as well is going to make the jump over there. Reloading in the back line. Oh no. Fur is going to be going down. Cold drops in the middle. This is an utter disaster. What a grotesque round here for TSM. And what could they do at this point?
TSM are just pulling the plug, Anders. This is it. They lost the pistol. They said, okay, that didn't work. Now they get into Deeg mode. They channel their inner saucers, and then it's going to come down to Taco in a 1v4, but there isn't really a whole much he can hope to do. Cajun is already spreading out across this map. This is fantastic from Cajun. He's actually going to be waiting for him as he comes through. Easy shots for him. He gets the job done. No save possible. And TSM on map point here for this first map in the best of 3.
Wow. Not much else to say, really. I mean, I'm looking forward to the post-game analysis here from our desk, because what can you say at this point? 15-2, 3 CSET 75s and a couple of extra pistols there on LG. Trying to stop the TSM team here has not been easy.
Oh, fantastic call from Luminosity, though. If you're going to go for a default 8, we're going to be ready for you. We're going to be waiting. Fair spots. He spots KHMB's gun barrel. And now it's going to be down to the second man. But there's the flash. Delayed. Goes in. Device under pressure. Holds down mouse one. He's not going to get it. Fantastic work from Luminosity. Getting up close with those CSEDs where they're well within lethal range. And now Kerrigan. Yeah, that didn't work.
Fallen even had a grenade out. So if he had checked to the left first, then that would have probably been a fairly easy kill. But the bomb is down here as well. And 5 versus 2. Gonna put everything on the line here, Sam. Like, LG are gonna win this round.
You got this?
I see it coming.
3 rifles, but Dupree and Zipnik's still here, bro.
Not this time.
Never count Zipnik's out of a show. All right, they back off. Dupree pretty quick on the back as well. They're really waiting. They want them to come into A site so badly, and that's actually gonna be up to Dupree, it looks like. But the rotation is already coming out as well. Fallen's got eyes on mid right now. Taco's pushed up in B apartments. He sees that nobody's here, and he's going to get him in a bit of a nasty spot in case they do run through. And with 35 seconds left, they don't really have too much time, TSM. They have to get the job done right away.
Oh, well, 25 seconds. They do have the weapons for it, but still, a couple of flashbangs. Maybe they could flash in and get the first kill. It's going to be 15 seconds now. They kind of have to go, otherwise there's not going to be any time at all here. Fennec's going to be taking care of Dupree, and Sip goes down. That's 15-3. I feel like that, I called that one, Samuel, didn't I?
Yeah, that was a hard call, Anders. Yeah. Long odds.
Gotta take it where I can, right?
This is just, I mean, it is a bit of a Hail Mary from Luminosity, but they really read TSM. They're like, great, okay, TSM probably gonna just, hang out around an A. They just go in, the delayed flash as well to make Device's life difficult. I mean, that was the kind of play, the brave play that you just need to get in there, take the fight. Now Fair gonna be pushing up the top mid as well. You know what? It's time to risk it all, Anders. Get in there, do some damage, get a kill, baby. But Kerrigan through the smoke will find Fair. Dupree, though, will find Fallen, or rather, the other way around.
I guess he did kind of find him, but not what he was probably expecting. There's even an auto shotgun in play on Taco right now. That mid play from Fur is one of those aggressive moves that Luminosity were doing a lot yesterday, and that's one of the reasons why I thought maybe TSM would be somewhat ready for it. And they did it all over the place, and TSM have watched those demos. They know all of that stuff. LG like to play for information on the CT side here, and TSM, if they're going to deny it to them, I'm wondering what's going to happen then. Taco's here, though, ready with a lot of lead.
And there's a moment of hesitation here on they're not going together, TSM. It's going to be one after another. This is perfect. This is exactly what Taco and Cold want. One target after another, they can split, and there it is. Very easy work for TSM. That moment of hesitation up in B apartments, I don't know if it was a flash, if we didn't quite get it. I think a flash went off, so that might have been what caused that hiccup in the push for TSM. But that worked out perfectly for Luminosity. Still, they need 11 rounds in a row to get overtime. And yeah, TSM now, I think they realize, well, okay, guys, let's play a little bit more patient. We'll take a round of eco here, nearly a hard eco as well, and just go in big for the next round.
Fallen is going to challenge in the middle. Got to be a little bit careful. There is one deagle in play. Sometimes that is enough. Cold here, and he's going to see them boosting into window, so pretty good information. Actually, they don't even get to jump in there. End up falling down, even though a lot of people were there to try and lift Sipnix, I think it was, into the window.
He's a skinny guy, too. Because you know all about lifting him, right?
Next level. Oh, Sip. If that had been a headshot through the wood panel there, it wouldn't have been good. Luminosity. Even in these rounds, they don't look particularly like they're in command of the round, you know? It looks more like it's TSM who are sort of, pushing them around a bit. They got to come out of these rounds with everybody alive and feeling really good. Cajun's got the P90, and there's no armor right now on TSM. I mean, Luminosity, they should be able to just man fight TSM in a round like this, use the aim punch, and wreck them. Don't think so much.
It's the fear. But then Fair, he feels no fear. He goes in, picks up the first man, so that's Device gone. He gets the second as well, and now the crossfire. FNX lying in wait up in Palace. Dupree will be able to pick up one, but that is it. Nicely done. Luminosity just letting TSM run into their crosshairs. That's exactly how it had to be done in that situation. So Luminosity now, they are, of course, going to have all the money they need to buy, but TSM, after that hard eco, they're going to have everything they need. All the smokes, the Molotovs, the nades, and full AKs. No AWP for Kerrigan, but then if they want to be quick on their feet, TSM, no harm in that. And yeah, it's just going to be default A-take. Like, just go for the basics. And a very quick one at that. Look at this, how quickly they're setting up. Just straight run in, maybe take advantage of somebody being stuck over in mid or trying to push up mid if that's the case here. Luminosity, I mean, if Fair's doing it again, TSM looks like they want to try and take advantage of that. They're not wasting any time at all.
And they do have someone hiding on the bomb side, which is good news. They need a bit of a rotation to come in, and there's still someone lurking. That's Device in middle, and that's going to be a big problem if the bomb ever goes down. We'll see. FNX spraying madly here, going to get the one kill. Kerrigan with a good return, and right now, no bomb hunt happening. It's in the smoke, though, and Sip is going to be able to get Fur killed, and now they have the man advantage on the TSM side, including Device still lurking in the back lines. Hit Kerrigan going to go down, and Device coming into window. This is a huge position.
This is monstrous. His teammates don't need to push. They don't need to do anything. Free kill on one, and he could get the second as well, but now Fallen has to worry about the back line, and Device, he doesn't come through. It's all a feint. He's going to change up his angle, and now Taco, his life just got that much more difficult. Walks out into the open, taking damage everywhere, and it's going to come down to Fallen now. We saw a monstrous round from him yesterday, but it's not meant to be this time. It will be map point going to TSM. They start this series 1-0, and things are looking pretty grim for Luminosity now going into TSM's map.
Yeah, one of the maps that has done so much for the Brazilian side throughout this tournament. They've been playing well on other maps too, including Inferno, but the problem is, in this series, Inferno is the last map, so they might never get to their sort of second chance. Overpass is a map that TSM are monstrously good on.
Absolutely. I mean, that's their turf. It's their map. It's a map that they do not lose. It's always going to be a strong point for TSM to have it to fall back on. And the fact that they got to first pick it, no problem at all. Yeah, Luminosity, they really needed to have Mirage. But then that's the thing. Everybody's saying, you know, these two leaders really, Kerrigan, Fallen, they're two leaders that had like instant impact when they joined up with these rosters. What is AUK?
Look, you didn't notice before, that's why it's funny.
If you guys didn't see, he's wearing a Kerrigan bracelet.
All right,
I didn't even have a French flag or anything, Anders. Come on.
Speaking of which, we have a commercial ready. We'll be back with Overpass in just a minute.